Hello, good morning, everyone. It feels so good to be live here with you at TEDxMaitama. It's a pleasure doing this webinar and having this beautiful guest and beautiful faces tonight. So, if you can hear us, if you can hear what we're saying, just put a fire emoji in the comments. Put a fire emoji in the comments if you can hear you can hear what we're saying. It's going to be such an amazing time. We have amazing guests and we have lots of opportunities packed for you today. So today in this TEDx Maitama webinar, it's going to be an amazing session, I promise you. Our theme this year is all about bold ideas that change the way we think about our future. And today, we're going to be talking about the future most people really don't talk about. And that is what happens to your crypto when you're gone. In Web3, we talk about innovation, security, adoption. Almost no one talks about the silent crisis of crypto inheritance. Like in traditional banks, you have next of kin, but in crypto, lose your keys and prove your assets vanishes forever. And this is no so small problem, all right? Because over $140 billion in Bitcoin is already gone, and much of it because the owners passed away without a plan. Joining me to unpack this revolution is Mr. Samson Ajah. He's the Chief of Staff at Trust AI, and we're going to explore that blind spot today. Let me introduce this amazing, phenomenal person. Samson Ajah is a Web3 systems strategist and Chief of Staff at Trust AI, a decentralized infrastructure platform that merges blockchain with artificial intelligence to simplify smart contracts and token creation. He leads initiatives that expand access to real-world decentralized tools, from AI wallets to zero-code DeFi. Samson also contributed to the development and rollout of Crypto Inheritance Protocol (CIP), a privacy-first solution for blockchain-based generational continuity. He pioneered the first African deployment on the COTI blockchain, and he led the continent's first CIP and COTI hackathon 1.0, activating developers and community to build for legacy, privacy, and long-term trust. Ladies and gentlemen, you would agree with me that we have no other better speaker to share this topic with us than Mr. Samson Ajah. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. Sir, say something. Let's hear from your wells of wisdom.
Hi, good day
Hi.
everyone. Samson Ajah, and I'm the Chief of Staff at Trust AI, and also the co-founder of CIP, the first crypto inheritance protocol, which is live on the COTI blockchain, and the first one of the top privacy blockchain in the world. Yeah, and
Awesome. Awesome. Like I said earlier, there's no better person to discuss this topic than you today. So my first question is, what is crypto inheritance? Like, make people that will watch this might not know what it really means. So tell us, what is crypto inheritance?
all right, the crypto inheritance, like we call it CIP, the firm
Mm-hmm.
which was established, is a way to pass down your digital legacy down to your loved ones, because in the realm of Web3, there is no structure to pass down digital legacy, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, down to your loved ones after you die, because crypto is all about keep your seed phrase, don't share your privacy, don't share your
Yeah,
phrase, always keep it
yeah,
safe, and don't allow anybody to know about it. But right now at CIP, we built a solution where you can actually pass down this crypto without sharing your seed phrase to anyone, to your loved ones. All you just have to do is to impute your beneficiary at a point in time. Any date you decide you want to pass down this crypto, it will automatically be given down to your loved ones. This month, August, we eventually went live on mainnet, where we deployed the first prototype to test out the solutions. And yeah, basically that's what crypto inheritance is all about.
that's beautiful. You did justice to explaining what crypto inheritance means and why it's a growing crisis. So, are there real life stories of people that have lost their digital wealth, people that didn't make plans for who would inherit their crypto when they are gone? Are there stories like that?
Yeah. So many stories like that. Like when you go to Reddit, you see several stories of people who could not access their loved ones, their partners, and even firms like the Quidex. One of a firm in South Africa, the CEO could not be able to when the CEO died, over $2 million of investors' funds were gone because it was an exchange. And even when you go to Reddit, you see several countless of people who has who eventually passed away and their assets were not given out to their loved ones, and those assets are become dumb and null and void because no way to retrieve it and no way to get it. There are several even I myself has lost my seed phrase at a
Are
particular
you
point in
serious?
time. And
You
yeah,
lost the money too.
yeah.
So the question is, where did this money go? Like when you lost it, and those people who have died with millions of dollars in crypto, where do the money go since they don't have like next of kin or anything like that?
It become a ghost money. It exists, but
Ah,
nobody has the access to it.
so it just disappears.
It exists. It's already in the blockchain. It's there, but nobody has access to it. It's just like
Wow.
let's say a kid that has been buried under the floor. So we
So
call that ghost money.
why current Web3 infrastructure doesn't solve this problem? Why does no current Web3 infrastructure solve this problem?
Okay. One of the great ways of saying, I would say we have a new way. The world is evolving, so we have a new way of doing things. So the current
Yeah.
Web3 infrastructure was built on decentralization, speed, payments, and everybody wants to get the money and get the gains, and nobody actually looks at what will eventually happen if I'm no longer around or if I eventually passed on. And that's why we built CIP. That's the
See.
Web3 infrastructure currently solving the problem. So we are
Wow.
currently solving the problem. So more blockchain is all about speed, scalability, decentralization, and trying to give autonomy back to the people. Yeah.
So
So
amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. So, how are you solving the problem of crypto inheritance? If you're just joining us, thank you so much. We're talking about where does your crypto go to when you die, or who would inherit your crypto after now. So, we have an amazing guest with us, Mr. Samson Ajah, who is building an infrastructure to solve this problem. Can you tell us more about how your solution is solving this problem?
all right. One of the solutions we employ in solving this problem is privacy blockchain. Yeah. Now the idea of an inheritance is that we want to keep the beneficiary and the inheritor anonymous, because
Okay.
everything on the blockchain can be seen. So let's say I sent you money on the blockchain, you can actually see the wallet and trace it and okay, this money was sent to this person. Blockchain is all about transparency. And that's a big
Yeah.
risk. Let's imagine now I'm sending a $20 million to a kid, let's say my son, and if there's no privacy, a little bit of privacy, that my child can actually be targeted and become a prey, because blockchain is all about transparency. Everybody knows that every transaction on the blockchain are visible. But at the Corti privacy features we used is to keep the encryption, the amount and wallet hidden from public eye view.
Okay.
Okay,
Is there no risk? Is there
one
no
of the
risk on
two.
the owner's
Okay,
part? I was
on
asking, is there
what?
no risk on the owner's part? On the owner's part, that can I really trust you that nobody else know that I'm giving this to my son? Is there risk on the owner's part
Yeah,
that they might be afraid of what
we are non-custodian privacy block inheritance solutions. We don't hold your
okay.
assets. Your assets are with you until you deploy to a smart contract, which automatically triggers the release of the funds according to the specific date. And the platform is built in a simple way where even a non-tech user can actually use it. All you just have to do is impute the beneficiary wallet address, fund the will, and that's all. We have two solutions out now: inactive
Uh-huh.
wallet and due date. Due date is all about okay, at so and so day, in 3 days time, I want this coin to be given to this person or to this address. So in 3 days time, it automatically delivers that coin to that address. But inactive wallet, let's say you are going for an operation and it's a 50-50 chances, and you say okay, in 2 months time If I'm not coming, if my wallet has been inactive in 2 months, these funds should be distributed to these people I assign as my beneficiaries. So
Okay.
if peradventure you come out from the operation and you did not make it out, they automatically the funds will be delivered in 2 months time because your wallet has been inactive for 2 months.
Wow. That's really beautiful. What other ways are you people solving this problem of inheritance aside through transparency?
Like I say, we have developed two solutions. All right, which is inactive and due date, and several rollout of futures will be given out towards the public eye view.
Okay. So what if what if I just maybe I've been busy for the past 2 months and I forgot to check my wallet and I'm still alive though? Would the money just immediately go to my next of king like that?
If you already fund the wheel and you already agreed on what to do in that 2 months, you are going to specify the amount of time or days or months you want those funds to go. Let's say you say 8 months, it's going to be in 8 months. If your wallet has
Okay.
been inactive for 8 months, not necessarily 2 months. I'm just giving an analogy. So if you say a
Yeah,
year, 6 years, if your wallet has been inactive for 6 years, it automatically triggers the release to your beneficiaries.
no problem. That makes a lot of sense. So basically, you set the time frame you want this money to be transferred, and that makes sense. I mean, keeping it a longer time, a year or more, will give you more chance to access it before it's transferred mistakenly or
Yeah.
something like that. Thank you so much for this solution you're building. It's definitely something that we need, and it's definitely something that the world needs to see, right? But still talking about the infrastructure. So, what's your vision? Where do you see the future of secure asset continuity going?
Uh, I think at point in time, crypto will just have to be a normal way of conventional doing businesses because we have the institutional rallies coming in, the CBDC rallies from Europe, and banks already adopting cryptocurrency. So in few years' time, it's just going to be a solution where you just have to secure or pass down your digital wallet, just the way you pass down your houses, you write your wills to your next of kin. So in few years' time, it just has to be a necessity for every individual. Because after the hype and noise, the real deal must always feel the real business must always come. Because one of the things I feel is delaying the adoption rate of people planning for their will, especially for digital asset, is that women being tends to feel they are more special. Yeah, they feel
Yeah,
like
that makes
they can live forever and they
yeah,
can. So at the end of the day, because of that speciality, they fail to plan. And in crypto, once you fail to plan for who access those things, eventualities, a random event can happen and you are gone. And your family might be, you might have $1 million worth of assets and your family might be wallowing in poverty after your death. So because human being tends to feel they are very special. By the end of the day, you are not that.
everybody
Yeah.
has blood and they'll die one day. That's really interesting. So, is the app ready? Can people download it? I'm sure that their listeners are already interested in it. Can they download it now, or how can they come on board to be sure that their $2 or their $2 million in crypto is well secured and passed down to their next of kin?
Yeah, yeah, it's actually ready. We went live on the 1st of August. It's at our Twitter
Congratulations.
page. You can actually visit our website, create a plan, fund the wheel, and test it out for yourself.
Okay. It's on Twitter Space, right? So
Yeah,
anybody that just
we
goes to
have a
Twitter
Twitter. Yeah,
Space
yeah.
will find
Can
it.
visit our website,
What? Okay, visit your website. What's the name of the website?
CIP protocol.
CIP protocol. Just CIP protocol, right?
Yeah.
.com. Amazing, amazing. We have a question from Iyobusa Akinoya. The person says, I think she says, Mr. Samson Ajah said in a few years' time, does that mean that there is currently no structure in place to preserve and hold and hand over your crypto assets when one passes on? I think you already answered that. That's CPI, right?
Yeah, CIP.
CIP rather, CIP protocol is solving that problem, right? So you can just go to cipprotocol.com to register, and then you'll be sure that your asset is passed down safely. Am I correct, Mr. Samson?
Yeah.
cipprotocol.com. That's amazing. Let's go back to the problem. I feel like there are people who just joined and want to get more insight into the problem. So currently, we see that there are no infrastructure solving this problem before CIP. And what would you say is the reason for that, despite billions of assets being lost every day? Why is there no, or why has there been no before now infrastructure that has solved that problem?
Okay. That's amazing because I think last few months Binance started developing a solution where you can actually pass down your crypto to your I think it was June, to your loved ones on their platform. Yeah, but it is not decentralized, it is centralized. One of the reasons is that because it was in the early stage of development, cryptocurrency and blockchain, we are just entering the adoption stage. So at the early stage of of an invention, people tend to just focus on how to make it out of those inventions, not to miss out, and the rush to make money also.
Yeah.
So many people forget about like I always say, human beings tends to feel special. Many people forget about that part where they feel like at any point in time you can actually drop dead and go, or eventualities might happen. So those things, as people tend to feel special about themselves, they tend to ignore the real problem coming up in the future, which is you eventually leaving the earth. So that's basically why all those things eventually occur.
Amazing. Thank you, Mr. Sampson, for clarifying that. And remember, CIP protocol is solving the problem. So if you want to ensure that your assets is securely passed down after your demise, go to cipprotocol.com and be sure to sign up. Let's move on. I think I have another question for you. So from the technical point, right, why can't blockchain network like natively solve inheritance the way banks handle next of kin transfers? If that makes sense, like banks simply fill a form right next of king. Why is it not like that when you go to Binance? Fill a form right next of king. Did you get my question, Mr. Sampson? Did you get the question?
No, no, no.
So I was saying, like, from the technical standpoint, why can't crypto solve the problem of next of king just the way banks solve inheritance problem? Like when you're filling your form, you see next of
Okay.
king, you fill the name. Why is it not like that in crypto?
Okay, now I have what we call regulatory laws, and also the next of king scenario and crypto
Yeah,
assets are not designed for those kind of scenario. Like now in the bank, you have a bank manager you can call if eventualities
yeah,
happen to your husband. Like, hey, okay, my husband works with this bank. They can actually trace it. But in crypto, is almost non like anonymity. So you don't even have a bank manager to your Binance account where you can call, and you don't even
true.
have access to the Binance team you can call where they will start trying to trace your husband asset or stuff like that. So you only have access to customer care. A customer care can't do that because you have to charge the customer care through the husband's account. And if you have the husband's account, you actually have access to your crypto wallet. So basically, the regulatory laws or existing laws does not cover crypto because I say it's a new innovation and it's just
Yeah.
getting adoption. So laws has to start changing and solutions has to start convincing and has to start changing towards it.
So, would you say that the biggest threat to digital inheritance is technology limitation or human habits or poor planning? So, which one would you consider the biggest
It
threat?
is
Is it
all.
technology?
It is all. There is no
All
one
of
that
them.
is a bigger threat. They are all. Poor
Wow.
planning rises from humans feeling special and human
Mhm.
adoption rates.
Yeah, and human habits, they
And
are used to
yeah,
automatic inheritance. And also technology, like it hasn't been much of a problem. So, there's not yet effective technology in place to solve it. Talking about cultural attitude, how do cultural attitude towards debt, privacy, and secrecy affect how people plan or fail to plan for their crypto assets? Do you think cultures affect this, like
Yeah,
some cultural beliefs?
yeah. Culture do affect this. Like I always say, human tends to feel special. There are some cultures that see death as a taboo, as wrong, never to be spoken about. So if someone from that culture now is trying to plan his will, you will see him like, what are you doing? You're doing a very wrong thing. You should not talk about that. You should not talk about those things. You can live
Yeah,
to eternity. So cultural taboo, religious stigma can also create those scenarios where people tends to feel they are very, very special. This can never happen to them. They are way ahead
only
of the
God
curve and stuff like that.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because that's what separates most of the African cultures from the Western cultures. I saw a Facebook comment one day, and the man was saying that he already bought his coffin, he already bought the burial ground that he wants to be buried because he doesn't want the burden to fall on his family. Like he's already proactively planning his death. But then in Nigeria, that seems like you're wishing yourself death. But the Western people already know that this is inevitable. They've accepted it and they make plans for it ahead. Right? Even for inheritance, ensuring that, for instance, now in Nigeria, when someone dies, the burden of burial is a whole lot. So see someone
yeah.
proactively buying those things to cut cost or save his family member from incurring more loss aside the whole emotional loss. That's really amazing, and that's something that we can adopt in the African culture, especially when it comes to next of kin. Thank you so much, Mr. Sampson, for throwing more light
Thank you.
into that. All right. Can smart contract-based wills or multi-signature wallets realistically solve the inheritance challenge we're facing today? Like smart contract-based wills or multi-signature. Can it solve it?
Yeah, definitely. It should, and it will.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
it should.
about decentralized identity or trusted third-party custodians that are integrated? Can they be integrated without compromising Web3 ethos of privacy and autonomy?
Yeah, they can be integrated without compromising them if they are built on a privacy blockchain. Yeah,
Okay.
because I think one of the next big solutions in the world is privacy. Because actually, as humans, we're actually moving away from privacy. Yeah, it's basically no more privacy again in the world. But on a decentralized privacy blockchain, I think that would perfectly function properly.
All right. All right. That's amazing. Thank you so much for answering that question. How do we build systems that people can trust, right, without reintroducing the centralized Web3 was designed to avoid, like the centralization that Web3 was designed to. Web3 was trying to avoid the whole bank. You know how bank is centered on CBN, for instance, in Nigeria, there's so much centralization. Web3 tried to avoid that and make it like independent kind of. So how can we build systems that people can trust without creating that centralization that Web3 was designed to avoid?
Okay, no matter the system you build or you are going to build, you have to make sure that you're aligned with the regulatory or regulations. Because with you breaking regulations or like not aligning with regulations, you tend to cause trouble for yourself and probably spend more time in jail. So that's where the great news of the privacy blockchain comes in. Yeah, they keep most of the things anonymous, decentralized, and everything. But at the end of the day, if government agencies and regulatory bodies wants to see some of this data can be provided to them, because you are not bigger than the government around the world. So basically, it keeps you anonymous on a private blockchain, but it also makes you regulatory friendly.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Definitely it works, but then centralization can be avoided. My next question is: in 10 years, will crypto inheritance problem be solved, or will lost assets still be part of Web3 reality? And can the assets that has been lost be retrieved in 10 years' time?
Oh, okay. In 10 years, yeah, it will be solved, but there will definitely be asset loss due to human negligence and people not ready for eventualities. But it will be solved because there are many other solutions. already been built and other people trying to build. I think the crypto inheritance niche is getting more traction right now. So many demos are coming out, and CIP is already out on mainnet, and so many demos are coming out. So many people are trying to build a new solutions. So I think in less than 5 years, it will be solved, but there must always be assets being lost. And crypto being lost is lost forever. I can always call it is a ghost money.
Incredible. You know how the stock market, for instance, now at some point, losing your stocks after death, you could not retrieve it. But now there are systems, right, in place now to help you retrieve those lost assets. So do you think in 10 years' time there will be systems in place for those who have lost their family wealth to retrieve the wealth of their dead loved ones? Do you think
I
that will
don't
be
think
possible?
no, I don't think that is possible. Except I don't think that will be possible because
Why
only you
though?
have access to your seed phrase, and once your seed phrase is gone, it's gone. So I don't think it will be possible.
You don't think any infrastructure can be built to retrieve lost money?
I don't think so. If an infrastructure can be built to retrieve lost money, then I think everybody has gone because that same infrastructure can be used to.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I see beautiful faces that have joined us so far, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us. We are on the TEDxMaitama webinar and we're talking about the future of Web3 when you are gone, like the future of your wealth, where will your crypto go after you leave this earth. And we have an amazing person with us, Mr. Samson Ajah. So if you're just joining and you have questions based on what we've discussed so far, feel free to share in the comments and we would love to answer your questions. We would really, really love to answer your questions. Um, do you have anything you would like the audience to know about your solution, CIP protocol?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy platform you can use to secure your asset right now. And actually, we are actually leading in the world globally because we are
Wow.
the first people to deploy on mainnet and got live traction currently.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, CIP protocol founder. To end the session, I would love you to summarize the points for those that just joined or for those that want to take quick notes, right? What and how, or what are the best things to do to ensure that your wealth is securely inherited by your loved ones?
Okay. The best things to do actually is if you're scared of sharing out your seed phrase with partners or loved ones, if you're scared of sharing out your seed phrase with your partners or loved ones, you find inheritance solutions like CIP, and you add your beneficiaries, fund your will, choose a specific time frame. If you are going to use a due date, you use a due date, and if you are going to use inactive wallet, use an inactive wallet. That's the best scenario I can give. Always plan for your eventualities. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's been amazing having you here, Mr. Samson Ajah. And I'm sure the audience loved your session so much. I personally learned a lot. I took a lot of notes, and I am now more informed about the future of crypto, especially when it comes to inheritance, right? If people want to follow you or find you on social media, what are some ways they can follow you?
Okay, you can just search for crypto inheritance, CIP,
Okay.
CIP inheritance, and using the hashtag CIP, you can actually see us. And you can also search for Coti blockchain. You can actually see us because we are backed and powered by Coti. And yeah, and you can also search for Edge Dragon 2 on Twitter, and you can actually find me there.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. And as Mr. Sampson has rightly said, ensure that you secure your wealth, ensure that you protect the digital wealth you've built over the years. Make sure that you have a plan. You're not special. Everyone's going to die one day. So have a plan for your future so that your crypto or your digital wealth can be effectively transferred to your next of kin. Thank you so much, Mr. Sampson. It's been a pleasure having you tonight. Thank you so much for coming on board and do have
Thank
a
you.
lovely day.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's a wrap on the TEDxMaitama webinar. And I'm sure that you learned a lot. You got a lot of value. If you joined late, be ensure to replay this webinar from the beginning because there were a lot of tea that were spilled here. A lot of values were shared. And be sure to follow us on all our social media handles at TEDxMaitama Official on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TEDxMaitama Official. Until next time, I'm your host, Vivian Clay. Do have a lovely day.